Hi everybody, you'll have to forgive my coughing and spluttering as I record the audio for this video over the top of this gameplay of Domination on Grazna Raid in Modern Warfare 2019 on the PlayStation 4. But I thought I had to record this video. I was going to do it in a few days after I'd worked on the script and the ideas a little bit more, but I've seen another video today from another prominent YouTuber moaning, moaning is the wrong word, bemoaning the way that Modern Warfare plays and how this isn't the Call of Duty that they know and love, and that if only Infinity Ward and Activision had done some changes yesterday with the Season 1 patch that they put out, that it would be better and they could fix this game and they could make it a really good Call of Duty, where I in fact feel the exact opposite to that. I feel, listen, you don't need to do hardly anything to this game. It's amazing, and I love it, and I think you will too if you enjoy Call of Duty and you enjoy especially the older style of Call of Duty as well. But I wanted to go a little bit maybe into why is this the case, because there's no doubt that when YouTubers do say actually we're not enjoying it, most of them, it's completely honest. They're not enjoying it in the way that they've enjoyed previous Call of Duties like Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, maybe COD World War 2 as well, and even games like Black Ops 2 probably, and maybe Modern Warfare 3 and things like that. It's not like they're lying. I mean, some of them are to create a little bit of controversy, but 90% of them aren't. And I think you've really got to go back to the time in Call of Duty's franchise history, sort of the time around Ghosts and then Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. And Ghosts didn't have a particularly good reception. It changed some of the core concepts behind Call of Duty with some of the game modes and the time to kill. And then you had Advanced Warfare come in, where you had the advanced movement systems, with boosting and sliding. And then you had Black Ops 3, where Treyarch put their spin on the advanced movement system, where we added kind of wall running. And I think a lot of people at that point, over those three games, and then after those three games as well, but starting off with those three games, they started to fall off Call of Duty, because before that we'd had Modern Warfare 3, we'd had Black Ops 2, we'd had World at War, all these classic Call of Duties that people, enjoyed playing. And then for me, after like Black Ops 3, and probably for lots of people, you had this real nail in the coffin that was Infinite Warfare, where they went to space, we had even more advanced movement, really fast time to kill, and literally I can remember playing the beta for Infinite Warfare and going, okay, maybe it won't be that bad when the full game comes out, and buying the full game, with the special pack that gave you the remaster of Modern Warfare 1, COD 4, and then being absolutely gutted and hating it, and I probably only put about 6 hours into Infinite Warfare, so that was the Call of Duty where I was like, oh jeez, that was really terrible. Now I have always stuck with Call of Duty, and then after Infinite Warfare we had World War 2, which I thought was okay. I enjoyed a lot of that, especially enjoyed the campaign. The multiplayer maps are too small, and then they completely screwed it with the way that they added cosmetics into their game, and then we had Black Ops 4, which was my game of the year 2018, but it had a lot of competition, from the likes of PUBG, and the likes of obviously on the game, not that I would play it, but things like Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that. I think back in that Ghost and Advanced Warfare Black Ops 3 stage, that's where Activision knew that they had to really make some serious changes and go back to the roots of Call of Duty. Well, the roots of really successful Call of Duty. So we're talking basically boots on the ground, Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War, all that sort of stuff. But also, what they also knew was that they need to make a Call of Duty that was fun, and that people would keep on playing for a lot longer and not fall off at. And then obviously they're on this 3-year development cycle, aren't they, with the three or they were with the 3 different developers. So, and I think with the release of World War II and Black Ops 4, the kind of things that were received negatively, i.e., the final realization that having maps on a season pass wasn't a great idea because it split the player base and reduced the player count. Supply drops, weren't a great idea. There was a lot of controversy of the Black Ops 4 supply drops, but also, we had the EA fiasco with Battlefront 2, where almost new laws were brought in to sort that out. So I think they looked at all that, and then they looked at the successes of things like a free game, Fortnite's Battle Pass system, and thought, okay, well maybe that's what we need to monetize the game beyond the initial purchase, because you're going to get the people who buy the game at full price, but lots of people are going to buy it at discounted rates, and we need to get a little bit more money out of them with the Battle Pass. So they looked at Fortnite's system. And I think they sat down, well, hopefully they all sat down at Activision and Infinity Ward, and probably a few of the other well-known developers, and said, right, what would make a really great Call of Duty? Well, it's got to have a campaign. And let's go back to Modern Warfare era. Let's make kind of a remake or a kind of a prequel for Modern Warfare. Let's put Captain Price in it. Let's bring back co-op Spec Ops, although it's arguable how successful that's been. And I bet somebody said, wouldn't it be great if we could have battlefield moments in Call of Duty? So, battlefield moments are these things that happen normally in a battlefield game when you have these bigger maps and you have tanks and helicopters and jets all sort of coming together in this combined arms battle. And you have these oh wow cinematic moments that kind of blow you away. And they thought, well, yeah, so that would be really really cool. Let's have some big teams. Maybe why don't we have some Battlefield done the Call of Duty way? And let's give all the maps to everybody. Let's not have a season pass. And I tell you what, let's have some more interesting maps as well. Let's not just have 3-lane kill fest maps that you have on Treyarch maps. Let's put some doors in. Why don't we get the players to fly in on helicopters at the beginning of matches? And let's make sure that anything that you have to pay for, like the paid for bits of a season pass and things, it's all just cosmetic. And everybody went, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And then they all went, okay, what sucks about Call of Duty? Well, we know we don't like the advanced movement system. No, that sucks. How about quick scoping? Yep, we hate quick scoping, don't we? How about swan diving? We don't like that. That sucks, doesn't it? When someone swan dives or jumps around a corner on you and kills you, and you're like, oh, with an SMG, you're like, oh, bloody hell. So, yeah, we can all kind of agree that what sucks in Call of Duty is when you have players sprinting around the map incredibly quick, swan diving, jumping around corners, flipping spawns, creating chaos, so that they can then kill lots of other players and get these really high streaks, get to the top of the leaderboard, and generally make the game too chaotic for the other players to really enjoy. So they thought, right, how are we going to do this? Well, let's slow down the movement. Let's get rid of quick scoping as best we can by slowing down the ADS. Let's make footsteps really loud, so if somebody is sprinting around the map, we can find them. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to make it easier for your average player to have a good time in the game, and therefore play it for longer, and therefore buy things like the Season Pass. Let's make Call of Duty a little bit less arcadey. First-person shooters have moved on. Let's make it a little bit more Rainbow Six Siege, a little bit more PUBG, a little bit more Battlefield, but still Call of Duty, but a more mature Call of Duty. One that appeals to the players who did play back on Modern Warfare Black Ops 1 and 2, and they want a similar game, but one that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more tactical, a little bit more strategic. So let's also make players play with a similar skill level to each other. Let's put some basic skill-based matchmaking in. Just a simple average over a few games, so that the really challenged players who have difficulty with the game, they can kind of play together, and the really good players who enjoy running around and making life hell for everybody else, let's shuffle them off so they're all playing each other, and then we'll leave kind of the average players in the middle kind of having a good time and generally enjoying Call of Duty. And I think that's where we got to. I think that's what they delivered with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. A game that I absolutely adore and absolutely love. But this is a real problem for YouTube and streamers because they can't do pub stomping, which is running around and killing lots of people as often as they could, because the game doesn't lean towards that, because you can hear them coming, you can hear them jumping and stomping along. We've got some simple skill-based matchmaking that pushes them into lobbies where they're up against players of similar skills, and so it's going to get a little bit sweaty, going to get a bit more campy. They can't quit scope, they can't swan dive, and they can't reach those higher streaks easily. So they've gone bad on the game. Now, as I said before, they're not lying when they say they've gone bad on the game. That's why they're genuinely having a worse experience than they had on other games. And it reminds me of that, the old Spock quote, isn't it, from Wrath of Khan in Star Trek? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and I think that's really the case with Modern Warfare. Previous CODs have allowed, because of the mechanics in them, have allowed very good players who, full-time players, who not professionals, but full-time players who were very, very good at Call of Duty, to really stomp around on other players. And that's very, really enjoyable. If I could do that, undoubtedly I would be a bit peeved if I was now playing Modern Warfare and not enjoying it. But they're not the majority of players, but they do have a very, very loud voice. And lots of them are shouting at the top of their lungs that Modern Warfare is broken, that it's not really Call of Duty, and it should be significantly changed. When I think most people who are average players, like myself, you saw that gameplay, the first sort of gameplay, which was domination on Grasner Raid. That was amazing fun. Okay, I came below bottom in the on our side, but I did have a positive KD. I drove a Wilson round. There was a there was a tank on the map at one point, and we were just playing domination. It was brilliant. You felt like you were in the middle of a battle, and and I was using a semi-automatic rifle as well. I was using the FAL. I wasn't even using the M4 that they all moan about. Is the god gun and everybody's using it. You can't use any other weapon. You can use whichever weapon you want to. It's just that you've got to adapt your play style and accept that you're going to behave and you're going to perform in different manners. So that's, I think, why for me and for lots of people, Modern Warfare is amazing. But YouTubers hate it so much, and they've been giving the developers grief, they've been giving Activision grief, all because Modern Warfare and Infinity Ward have created a game that normal players really like and will play a lot. I've stopped playing PUBG now. I play DayZ a little bit, but not as much as I used to before. I'm literally playing Call of Duty whenever I've got any spare gaming time, because I really enjoy this game. It's so much fun to play. Now, you've still got to learn it, don't get me wrong. You've still got to learn the maps, you've still got to learn the guns, you've still got to close that skill gap. But once you do, it is very, very rewarding. As I say, so much fun. So anyway, there we go. That's why Modern Warfare, for me and for most players, I think, is really amazing. But that's why YouTubers hate it so much. Well, what do you think? Put your questions and comments in the box down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much again, and I will see you again soon.